Mine happens to be that I think there's a very strong reason Founding Fathers had for the Second Amendment, and that is that no government ever hasn't had to fight its own people, and its own people hasn't had to fight its own government. We had our Civil War.
Kurt Russell has recently gone on a rampage against the woke culture and the speech policing movement ravaging Hollywood. The movie legend, taking up the macho action persona of many of his blockbuster films, is leaving no stone unturned in expressing his utter disdain against the level of degradation that has come upon the artistic spirit of Hollywood. The woke media is infuriated by his sudden outburst and is frustrated and unable to decide what to make of this new development. But despite the attacks and media backlash being received by the Hollywood star, the 73-year-old is determined to forge on in his mission to recruit more minds who would be bold enough to speak out against the speech policing and cancel culture of Hollywood. His refusal to bend the knee to the dictates of political ideologues who have no respect for artistic creativity has earned him a lot of enemies amongst the fanatics of the extreme left. But the famous eye-wearing Snake Polinsky of the Escape New York franchise is not fazed by the rants of a few woke ideologues. He remains adamant not to sell his God-given rights for the applause of a loud group of insane narcissists. Like a true American, Kurt has stayed true to his traditional values. Welcome to today's video. Please hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest content. In recent times, we have all seen how different media companies and film houses have lost their artistic touch and creativity. It has been sold off to incorporate woke garbage that has no benefit whatsoever to fans and viewers. The messages of today's movie industries have now been designed to meet the requirements of the woke leftist cult. Producers, movie directors, actresses, and actors who have failed to subscribe to this way of thinking and creation are faced with the imminent threat of cancellation and career suicide. A lot of conservative personalities have turned their backs on their beliefs due to the fear of offending the revered woke community. But time has proven that not everyone is a coward who would easily succumb to the bullying and policing of woke media. Known for his outspoken stand on gun rights laws, Kurt Russell's unwavering relentlessness against political correctness adds a touch of allure to his already notorious macho persona. Kurt Russell has been known to boldly announce that he would not be censored. He has abruptly rejected and fought against any attempt to incorporate woke ethics and directives into his films and production. He has no regard at all for the demands of the insane left, who practice a code of intolerance to those who appear to share a different view from theirs. The growing hatred for Kurt Russell is due to his very open attacks on the absurdity going on in Hollywood. His sensitive creative spirit just can't stand the utter disregard for artistry in the movie industry these days. The entertainment arena, which used to be a place where a sort of fantasy and creativity could be explored, is now riddled with political banter and toxicity. The very foundations of what Hollywood was built to be have been abandoned in favor of useless divisive arguments that have no benefits to the welfare of the people. Producers now have to toll a certain line of opinions to be deemed worthy of acceptance and recognition by the woke left. Movies not washed in LGBT fountains no longer have precedence in Hollywood anymore. Instead, they are fought and hounded for not being inclusive and tolerant enough. It's ironic though that those notorious for cancel culture and media bullying are always the first to cry victim when their delusion is pointed out. The lack of accountability amongst the woke left about laws and inadequacies in the community shows how lacking in maturity and knowledge the woke media is. It is more of an organized totalitarian cult that rides on the unquestionable nature of its structure rather than on the actual basis of human and societal welfare. Kurt Russell, like many Americans, is tired of the madness and tired of the censorship and is therefore having no more of it. His opinion remains that any relationship between politics and entertainment always breeds a negative outcome. Creatives are not supposed to bring their political views on set, and we can all see how true these words have been proven to be in recent times, as movies have lost their creative edge due to the compromise that came with LGBT and woke inclusion. It all started with being inclusive. Now they demand full control of production and dictate what is worthy of being created. Their way is an artistic drain because only those who subscribe to a certain point of view are supported and pushed forward, and the majority of the people who can see through this injustice and lies are shut down and canceled. Kurt Russell, despite being widely known as the tough guy that he is, also possesses an equally formidable intelligence and informed personality. His arguments against political correctness constantly leave left-wing activists enraged at their inability to find flaws within his logic, and as usual, they resort to throwing insults and the usual calls for media cancellation. But despite the various waves of attacks, Kurt has always found a way to come back stronger. Among his strongest views are his unwavering support for gun rights and the Second Amendment. According to Kurt, no one has the right to determine a man's ability to defend himself and prevent harm from coming upon him. Kurt is known to have said, if they can take your gun rights away, you don't think they are going to take your free speech away. You're fooling yourself with what always happens. With Kurt Russell, it is hard to argue against his logic because it is obvious that in a country where free speech is policed and hounded by a certain group of personalities, there is no telling what would happen if they get access to the gun rights of citizens. The nation as it is clearly unsafe, with illegal aliens scattered within and violent enemies looking for a chance to strike at the now politically weakened and unstable America. Kurt pointed out that gun control laws lack the ability to control terrorism, as there is really no guarantee that criminal elements will not go out of their way to obtain illegal arms to perpetrate crimes, and such laws will only leave citizens unable to defend themselves. The argument that gun laws will reduce crime is one majorly peddled by the woke left, who refuse to see the unrealistic logic in such an argument. The reality is that law-abiding citizens will be effectively left unprotected during attacks unless law enforcement agencies are present or contacted. But this inversely creates an avenue for criminals to go on rampages, which has been known to occur where convicted criminals and first-time offenders have been known to commit murders even while on parole against unarmed citizens. Kurt has been known to boldly declare how he wished that the unarmed citizens had access to guns and then ended the lives of such criminal elements, but many will call him weird for this. Wokeness is indeed a disease, disguised as misplaced empathy and tolerance, which is in fact intolerant and unwelcoming to reason. America has become a nation of debates, and it is sad to say that the subject of these debates is not ways and methods to broaden the frontiers of scientific discovery, but instead it's now a country fixated on the very basic facts of human existence. What is a woman? How many genders exist? Questions that do not require a high level of intellect to answer are what have plunged the entire country into a harsh and heated division. It's insane. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button so you can stay updated with all our interesting content. Kurt Russell has become a severe headache to the extreme left because he is not content with just seeing through the sham of Western political correctness for himself. He is also determined to garner as much support as he can from like minds, to mentor others in the integrity of speaking out in support of the truth. We can all see how this is a problem for the woke media. They hate those who speak the obvious truth, and more still, those who will have the guts to try to open the eyes of others. That is why Kurt Russell and those like him should be applauded as true heroes of democracy, who respect the values laid down by our founding fathers of old. Men who refuse to cower in fear to the drum beats of fanatics and ideologues. Men who would rather be hated by mainstream media than give up their principles and codes of conduct. But despite the torrent of media bullying ravaging Hollywood and the entertainment industry, we can rest assured that there are icons speaking up against the woke left. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of this video. See you next time.